Hey, how's it going? LT Nomad here in the field, and today I will share some hints from every country on GeoGuessr to help you get better at the game. Also, I know that I changed my character since, well, it looked a bit weird. But anyways, let's get into the first country. So when you're in Albania, you have to make sure to look for this bollard, which has black at the top and a red reflector. And if you see the similar bollard like in San Marino or Slovenia, then to differentiate those, look up in the sky and you'll see this rift. If you see this rift and this type of bollard combined, then you're most likely to be in Albania. So to get Andorra, it is very simple, even in this very rural area. Okay, maybe not rural, but still. You just need to look for this type of architecture of houses, which is made of cobblestone and all that. This is what I like to call the Pyrenees architecture, since this architecture is found in the Pyrenees Mountains all the times in Andorra. Now, Austria is a very difficult country to recognize on GeoGuessr because this bollard, specifically the style of the bollard, is very common in lots of countries like Slovenia, Serbia, and Montenegro. However, to differentiate those, you just need to find some German and you're good to go. So, if you didn't know, Belgium speaks in two main languages. French, which is in Wallonia, and Dutch, which is in Flanders. Now you're probably wondering, okay, how do I differentiate Netherlands and France from Belgium? Well, it all comes down to the license plates, because Belgium has red text on the EU license plates. Meanwhile, France has different EU license plates with both blue markings on both of the license plate sides. Meanwhile, Netherlands has EU license plates, but they're yellow on front and the back of the car. Okay, so there was a bit of a problem with finding some hints about Bulgaria, because back in the day I used to guess Bulgaria just because of the antenna, because it had a black flag on the antenna. But now with new coverage, it doesn't have the antenna. It's just a standard Google car, which is blue. So now I don't even know what to do. What do I even put into this section? Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, there is the bollard. Basically, this bollard is similar to the Hungarian one. It's that it's a lot thinner and kind of indent. So yeah, once you find this bollard, you could guess Bulgaria. And also Bulgaria has street signs where it's written in Cyrillic and Latin. Cyrillic because, well, it's no surprise that the country that invented the Cyrillic alphabet will use Cyrillic. For Croatia, you only need one very simple hint. Yep, you're looking at the right thing. Croatia is probably the only country in Europe that has blue fire hydrants with this kind of shape. So, whenever you see this blue fire hydrant, then, without a doubt, guess Croatia. So between 1918 and 1992, there was a country called Czechoslovakia, which is basically Czechia and Slovakia as a one country. That's why in Czechia and Slovakia, you'll see the same bollard, which is right here shown on the screen. And now you're probably wondering, okay, how do I differentiate Czechia and Slovakia if they are so similar? Well, it all comes down to the type of street signs, because Czechia has this type of font and also this street sign design, while Slovakia has a different style design that I'm showing once again on the screen. So all you'll need to do is remember the street sign designs and you're good to go. Now personally, Denmark is my personal favorite when guessing on GeoGuessr because even in this location there is so much meta, like the bollards, the street signs. Also, key to remember, Denmark has lots of street signs everywhere, so it's perfect for the ones who try to 5K on Denmark. And basically Denmark is pretty flat, so yeah, all of this combined just easily screams out Denmark. So the Baltic countries are pretty difficult to differentiate on GeoGuessr, but not so much, because all I need to find is this type of road with these kind of stripes, because there are only two countries that use these stripes, Estonia and Sweden. Now how do you differentiate Sweden and Estonia? Well, with these bollards, because Estonia has these very tall and similar to German style bollards. Is that Estonia's bollards are more circular. So all you need to find is striped roads and also this type of bollard to get Estonia. Okay, now you might be wondering, LT Nomad, why is your camera so bad all of a sudden? Well, it's not my camera, it's the camera that was used to take the coverage in Finland. And yes, this is called shitcam. I'm not making this up, this is literally called shitcam in the GeoGuessr community. And lots of the coverage in Finland was covered by this shitcam. So yeah, so when you see this European landscape with this very poor quality, oh my god, it even hurts my eyes. Anyway, yeah, looks European, shitcam equals Finland. Now you might be thinking, okay, France is huge, so it must be pretty difficult to recognize on GeoGuessr. But actually it isn't, because all you need is this blue sticker on the utility poles. Because France is the only country that has this blue sticker on almost every utility pole all across the country. And if you see this blue sticker or something similar to it like in the Philippines, then just find some French and you're good to go. So remember how in the Austrian section I said that to differentiate Austria from some sort of countries? Wait, what kind of countries were there? Can we pull up the clip? Now Austria is a very difficult country to recognize on GeoGuessr because this bollard, specifically the style of the bollard, is very common in lots of countries like Slovenia, Serbia, and Montenegro. Okay, it was those countries. Anyway, now you're probably wondering, how do I know which bollard is the Austrian one? Well, you just need to remember the flags that's the mnemonic I use. Germany has black and white, black which is on the flag, while Austria has black, red and white of course being on the Austrian flag. And even though this bollard might be similar to most of the standard bollards, just look at the back of the bollard and you'll see these two white dots that signify that this is the German bollard. Now this is something that I didn't really do in this video, how to know what country you are in on GeoGuessr, but this one is rather unique. To understand that you are in Greece, you have to make sure that you see these type of utility poles, because they have 5 insulators And also, most of the times they have a lamp connected to the poles. Now, if you don't see this type of exact pole, then there are lots of variations in Greece that are pretty similar to this type of pole. Now, Iceland is probably one of the easiest countries to recognize on GeoGuessr because all of its landscape is, well, just filled with moss and some grass and shrubs and barely has any forests. Also, Iceland is recognized through this specific yellow bollard with this white reflector. And also, if you don't see any kind of moss anywhere in sight, then Iceland is also recognized through the black volcanic soil. Ireland and UK. Pretty similar, right? Yes, but at the same time, no, in the GeoGuessr community, because Ireland has lots of differences between it and the UK. For example, Ireland uses the yield sign, while UK uses the giveaway sign. Ireland uses the EU white license plate signs, while UK uses yellow on the back of the car non-EU license plates. Ireland uses green and white bollards, while UK has lots of different types of bollards. It all depends on the region. Now, Italy is also a pretty easy country to recognize on GeoGuessr because of the license plates that most of the cars have, which are very short and have blue EU markings on the license plates, just like France, when I discussed about it in the Belgium episode. I can even show you a clip of that. Meanwhile, France has different EU license plates with both blue markings on both of the license plate sides. What did I say? And also, Italy has, of course, Italian language everywhere, and most of the back of the signs are either black or dark gray. Now, I was gonna do it normally and explain some hints while showing some Google Street View videos, but then I thought, wait a second, I explained the Latvian meta when I was in Latvia and when I was filming my vlog. So why don't I give you a sneak peek? And no, I won't show my face yet. I'll just show this picture, which will be grayed out. Deal? Okay. Here it is. What better way to talk about Latvian meta than when being in Latvia? Basically, Latvia has these Latvian bollards, which look like German bollards, but they're more thin and kind of like paper. Oh, and they're taller. And also in Latvia, you'll see lots of signs in Latvian, and you'll also see some A-frame poles that are literally shaped like an A. So I hope you enjoyed that part of the vlog, and if you want to see it, I'll tell you some more details about it later. So Liechtenstein, yes, that's how you pronounce it, has not a lot of meta since it's a very tiny country. But one meta that I found was that Liechtenstein uses 7 stripes in its pedestrian signs. We can even make sure that it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, 7 stripes on the pedestrian signs equals Liechtenstein. And also, since I am in the capital city of Vaduz, you can often see the Liechtensteinian flag, which right here isn't very visible, so I'll just show on the screen right here. Okay, got it? Good. And yeah, these are the 2 main hints that I would use to locate Liechtenstein. So the Baltic countries, like I said in the Estonian episode, are very similar to each other, but here's how I differentiate them. Number 1, these street markings, because Estonia and Latvia have much different street sign markings than Lithuania, because Lithuania has this very interesting kind of diagonal street sign marking. Oh, and of course, as always, I differentiate Lithuania from Latvia and Estonia by looking at the bollards. And yep, this is the Lithuanian bollard. Back in my other sections, I showed the Estonian and the Latvian bollard. And here's another very obscure detail that I noticed. So, Lithuanian street names often end in street name and then G. G means gatve, which means street in Lithuanian. Meanwhile, for a Latvian, it's iela, and for Estonian, it's something else. It's nothing, by the way. So yeah, these are the 3 hints that I use to guess Lithuania, my home country. I was about to finish off this first episode of the series that I'm doing, but then I remembered that I forgot Hungary, so why don't we just do that? So the one key detail on recognizing Hungary is the utility poles. Basically, Hungary has these special type of holy poles that you're looking at right now. Yes, in the GeoGuessr community they call holy poles because, well, they have holes. There are lots of, well, unique types of utility poles that we use to recognize countries on GeoGuessr, but this one is rather special because unlike, let's say, the Romanian one, Hungary is just a plain, thin, holy pole that has no wide bottom, and just like how I'll explain it in the future episode, Romania has a wide bottom. So yeah, that is all of the 18 countries that I just did, and I am feeling very tired right now that I had to do a lot of editing, and yeah, my fingers won't forgive me for this. But still, thank you very much for, well, still being on this channel. And hey, if you're new, consider subscribing because since it is now summer break, let's go. I will definitely try to upload more frequently. I promise. I will fulfill this promise for you guys and girls, if any girls watching. Okay? Good. Anyways, I will see you around.